Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber check-in episode from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. Today, I'm really excited to help share the story of an 80-year company, Merchants Moving and Storage. And today I have General Manager with us today, Bill Rauer. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. You and I met just a few years ago, and as you started your new career in the moving and storage industry, and I've just really enjoyed working with you. I loved your disposition, your quick wit, and you show up to stuff. So I'm really excited to help share the story. Um, and Bill, we've been doing these chamber check-ins with our members since really the start of the pandemic and COVID, when it really threw everybody for a loop. And for an organization that gathers people for a living, we had to shift our sails, as you can imagine, to connect and engage with our members. And this is one of the things that kind of spawned from it. So we've kept it going, and today I think we have over 550 episodes, and we still continue to share new content to our members. And I'm just so excited to share what's going on with Merchants Moving and Storage.
Awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity. It is very exciting. I haven't been here for a real long time, but it's been action packed since I showed up. So happy to share more about that.
Well, these episodes are really great ways of sharing a little bit about the people too, which is my favorite part. So what's your background, Bill? Help me share a little bit about the history of work and your background that led you into to the transportation industry.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I've been here a couple of years now, coming up on that in a couple of weeks. Prior to that, almost my entire career was around real estate development, design and construction and all of those things. Moved to Boise in 1985 and went to work for Albertsons Incorporated. Probably sounds a little familiar to you, Paul. And as an architect, intern architect, fresh out of school. And so spent about half my career at this point with Albertsons, designing and building stores all over the country, and living here in Boise the entire time. And then parted ways with them in 2003. I think a lot of people know the story behind all of that. And stayed in the industry as a home builder, working for a cabinet maker, a variety of different things over time, and ultimately. Along the way, just discovered how much I really enjoy business of any size, from a Fortune 25 company to my own companies. So, and picked up an MBA along the way, and ended up here a couple of years ago as a result of a change in ownership. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But that's how I landed here in August of 2022.
Wow, what an incredible story. You know what? I just learned something. I didn't know that you worked for Albertsons during those years, because I was there the same time you were. I was a can stacker, though. I was in the stores, right? You were designing the efficiencies of stores. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know, what is the origin story of Merchants Moving and Storage? When did it start? Where and how and why and who? Help me share.
So a gentleman named Homer Gross, back in 1944, as all great entrepreneurs figure out that there was a gap in service and that he could fill it with a bicycle with a basket on the front of it. And he started a company called Merchants Services, and basically delivering small packages and large manila envelopes to businesses around the downtown Boise area in 1944. And before long, it was, geez, Homer, is there anything else you can haul? And he ended up with, I believe it was a horse and a cart, and started hauling larger things. And it just grew from there. And became so successful that he sold the business rather quickly, and then it sold multiple times in the first 35 years of its
Oh, wow.
of existence. So yeah, the company has had, up to the time I came on board, it has had 6 owners. all family based. And the one culminating in the period of time just before I got on board was the Grove family. Ron Grove Sr. and his wife Joan took on the business in 1974, so 50 years ago.
Okay.
And then in 2011, the children, Ron Jr., Brian, and Vanessa, took on the ownership, which led up till 2022, when yet another family bought the company.
Oh.
The Kime family out of Idaho Falls. They own a company called Interwest Companies, which we are now a part of. We are one of 4 branches, including Idaho Falls, Bozeman, and Salt Lake City. And so throughout that entire iteration, the company grew in basically addressing the needs of the business community and of the citizens. So household goods and all of those things.
What an incredible story. I love the start of somebody on a bicycle delivering packages. That's just the best. That's just the best.
Isn't that great?
Your overhead is low. Your insurance is low. I would love to see a picture. I don't know if there's any photos of that, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure we found any pictures of that, but we do have some old pictures along the way.
Okay, well, I'm going to come over to your office and you got to dig out some of those archives. I want to check them out. Okay, so your role and your history of work really lends well to, being a general manager of the company. So tell me a little bit about your role and how you offer your clients help.
You bet. So yeah, my role is the general manager here of the business, and it's really an apt title. In general, I oversee the day-to-day operation of the business here locally, obviously with great support and guidance from our leadership team in Idaho Falls, and they're generous enough to allow me to contribute in that area as well. So I spent some time in Idaho Falls working with the leadership team. Essentially, what we are is we're located out on Executive Drive. We moved here in 1981, and when it was still possible to hunt pheasants right out the back door, and which I'm told there are stories about that too. And so we've got about 60,000 square feet of warehouse under roof in 4 different warehouses, and include a machine shop for small repairs on our truck fleet, and then also a truck wash. And then another piece that's really popular here is a certified truck scale. We're one of not very many in our little nape of the woods here, and we have trucks coming. In fact, you might hear one come by. My office is right at the front gate, and but they come in and for a small fee can get their truck weighed, which is really crucial in the transportation logistics piece. So, but yeah, we with that warehouse, we've got a full staff of warehousemen that keep everything neat and tidy and clean for everybody's stuff, and then a truck fleet that we now share with iWest. So that's a big piece of it. And then all the local administrative support that we can provide here, which includes me and a great handful of people that really know what they're doing.
Okay, so 60,000 square feet of warehouse space.
Yep.
So you're storing people's stuff and businesses' stuff.
Right.
And are you doing shipping out of there as well?
Right. So so there's several different facets of our business, and one we're best known for here in this area is that HHG, household goods relocation. So, and that's mostly through Atlas Van Lines. We are an Atlas Van Lines agent. Atlas is one of the largest and best in the country, 400 agents across the country and Canada. And so we handle local, regional, interstate, and even international moves around the globe for folks, and then also do that under kind of a preferred contract with a number of companies. One we mentioned earlier was Albertsons. The Albertsons contract has been a piece of this business since I was there, since my early days of the company. So, so that's one aspect, and we have multiple vaults, as we refer to them, where we're storing goods on site here when things are relocated. Then we also work with a lot of business-to-business clients. So we're very well known for our office relocations. We're certified through an organization called IOMI, the International Office Moves Institute. So we do a lot of that business. We also provide logistics help for hospitality projects. So basically, just about every crane in downtown Boise right now, we've got some action on that. And in those logistics pieces, we receive product in with a hotel. It would be furniture, fixtures, and equipment, or FF&E. We receive it here at the warehouse, basically catalog it, and let the contractor or designer or whatever know that we have it here and that it's in good condition. And then when they ask us to, we deliver it to the site. And in many cases, we'll actually install it. So examples that we've worked on recently are Hotel 43. We worked on the Avery, worked on Hotel Renegade, and some others. So those are some businesses along those lines. We also work with restaurants on the hospitality side. And then also design logistics. I mentioned interior designers. So there's a number of interior designers here locally that obviously they don't, most of them work from their home. So they're not going to fill their garage full of sofas and chairs and tables and things. Those come this way. So then we also work with some other medical device companies. So there are times when we've got some pretty exacting medical devices here for both medical and dental. So we work with some of those companies, and that's really very interesting. So there's a flow of product coming in and out of our warehouses on a regular basis that is fascinating. Actually, it's pretty exciting stuff. That's a lot of stuff. The B2B side, not everybody gets to understand all of that.
Right.
But we do a tremendous amount of that work. And we love doing it. Especially our staff here, our service crews, love having the variety of things, the ability to do that. And one other aspect that we've provided in the past, and we will continue to provide more of it here in the near future, is what's referred to as final mile or last mile logistics. And that's typically one that's really common is Costco. So if you buy an appliance from Costco, a refrigerator or a washer dryer pair or something like that, then we'll be contracted with them to deliver that and hook it up, and then walk out of there with all the trash and leave your house spick and span, and be a new fridge there. That no evidence that a new fridge was brought in. So we also work with companies. Interwest Companies works with other companies like Restoration Hardware, which is a very high-end furniture group, and we're doing that in other markets right now, and we will be picking that up in this market eventually. So, when I say all that, it makes 60,000 square feet sound like not too much.
Right.
We've got to be, we've got to be very, very efficient to make sure we've got floor space for everything when the time comes.
You know, I'm so glad that we had this conversation, because I didn't realize all the last mile logistics, as well as I didn't even think about storing, I would imagine HVAC equipment, furniture, anything that needs to be pre-ordered and have on hand for those subs to install. Like when like the Hotel Renegade, I heard a story that there was a shipment of furniture that a semi delivering it wrecked.
Yeah.
And they had to, I mean, when you're working on a timeline and trying to get something open, and then you have that happen, I can see how important it is to have those goods close by and ready to call upon when you need them. I learned that's pretty cool. I did not know that today.
Yeah. We got to know UC pretty well over there at Hotel Renegade. He was very patient with all of us, and it all worked out. But yeah, that was a challenge.
It's always a moving target in construction. That's for sure.
Right.
Okay. You're moving people, you're moving business, you're moving office internationally, nationally, and local. Tell me a little bit about what should people think about when choosing a mover, and then why merchants?
Yeah. So it's really critical, and yeah, thanks for reminding me that we're in our peak season right now when it comes to household goods relocation. That starts around Memorial Day and runs through Labor Day, really through the month of September for the most part. And what we see a lot of, and we've seen even more of it this year, which is just disturbing, is we'll hear people call us in a panic, hoping to get moved quickly because they had been contacted by a relocation broker who doesn't have any trucks, doesn't have any warehouses, doesn't even have drivers or anything like that. And they will ask, and this is the first clue that you're being contacted by a broker. They will ask for a deposit up front. And usually it's thousands of dollars. And then that's the last you hear of them. And there's no way to get that money back. Well, there's very few ways to get that money back. So the first thing is go just ask. Are you going to ask me to write a check as a deposit? And anybody from a reputable van lines organization, and Atlas is the one that we're with, have been since 1975, so almost 50 years with Atlas. They will say no. Most times, most of the quote unquote contracts for HHG are COD, cash on delivery. So there are certain services that may need some security on it, but that's usually not anything that we handle. We help put that relationship together. And I'm talking about moving cars and some of those types of things. So, but that's the first sign. If you're talking about moving your home, relocating your residence, nobody should ask you for a deposit, anybody that's reputable. So whether it's Atlas or United or Allied or Mayflower or any of those are reputable van lines that are not going to pull that stuff on you. So that's the first sign. And then find out what their claims record is or their service record is. Claims on stuff that gets busted. And let me tell you, you put enough stuff on a truck and run it down a highway at 70 miles an hour, something's going to get hurt. But we're going to do everything in our power, number one, to make sure it doesn't get hurt. And then we're going to do whatever's right by the customer to make sure that either gets fixed or replaced or some sort of compensation is taken care of. And we here at this branch with Atlas have been a multi-time, we're coming up on 20 times in a row now, of winning what's known as the Milton M. Hill Quality Award from Atlas. And about 10% of the agents out of the 400 of us earn the right. There are certain statistics, and claims is a big one, that just show the quality. And it's on-time service, it's cleanliness, it's claims, it's a variety of things. And you can find, and two of our other branches are Hill winners as well. So every Van Lines has something along those lines that incents and motivates their agents to do better. And it's well within your right. Just ask, and we're happy to tell you how we do, and how we process things and some of that. So it's worth shopping around. We think we deliver a level of quality that is well worth the money.
So a question from just someone who was selling their house and moving, and that's also a moving target. How early does an owner of a home need to connect with a moving company to align with that time frame? Because let's say you're selling your house, you're on the market 30, 45 days. Okay, you finally find a buyer, and now you got another 30 days. How proactive do we need to be?
That's one thing I learned having, being pretty new here. I'm just about one of the newest people here, is that it's remarkably short, especially when we're outside of peak season. So leading up to the end of May and then October to that point. it can happen pretty fast. We recommend that you build in as much time as you have, and if that's less than a month, then that's what it is. If it's more than a month, boy, we sure like it when we can plan ahead on a variety of those things. But it can happen pretty quickly, and the process goes pretty much this way. Either somebody will, Justin Tarpley is our relocation specialist here on site, and he will either make arrangements to come to your house and survey the house and actually take a quick stock of inventory that you have in the house. That way he can create an estimate on it. And that's really the first step. From there, once you say, yep, I want to go with you guys, I want you to pack it all, or I'll pack most of it, or whatever, and then we will set it up, and we can move pretty quickly on that within a few weeks. So that's a definite possibility. In some cases, we've got people contacting us from well outside our region, and we will arrange for a video survey. So we will actually do something like you and I are doing right now, and survey the home that way. So we can do that. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time. During peak season, it might take a little bit longer. And the other side that you have to realize is there's two things to realize when we're in peak season. The first is it's our busiest time of year, and rates are probably going to go up a little bit because demand is super high. Right. And then the other part of it is at the other end. So at the destination, we will build in some sort of what we call a spread. It'll be a range of days that your stuff will show up where you need it to be sometime in this period, and we're going to ask you to be as nimble as possible to take receipt of that. And that's why it's important to also have warehouses. There are times when we bring something in here, and we will call it SIT, storage in transit. So we will have a very low rate for storage while it's here. It's usually about a 30-day period, and we will hold on to it till your house is ready, or till you find a house or an apartment or whatever. So.
Wow. Okay. I'm learning so much today. We have a few minutes left, and I just wanted to make sure that we talked about a little bit of merchants' community involvement, and then any upcoming events, and of course, let's close with some accolades that you'd like to share.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Blessed with the Grove family to really have been heavily involved throughout the community. The things that are most obvious are we're a big participant in the Festival of Trees. We actually move the trees for people, and we'll deliver them for folks when needed, and then participate actually in the gala and some of those things. We are also the move in, move out team for the Idaho Steelheads. They have a group of apartments here in the area, and we will move the furniture in and get everything set up. And then when the season ends, after we win the Kelly Cup, then we will move their stuff out. So those are two really obvious ones. We also participate in really a worldwide, but definitely a nationwide nonprofit known as Move for Hunger. And it basically, when you move out of your house, if your pantry is full of food that you don't want to haul, and canned goods, and some things are pretty doggone heavy, which is how we charge for the service, is by weight. If you don't want to take all that food with you, donate it to us. We will get it to Move for Hunger, and they'll put it in the food banks, whatever location you're in. So that's a really cool thing we're involved in that we're very proud of. And there's a number of other things that we do also, and it's also one of those things we're known for that. So we'll have people come to us and say, "Hey, can you help us with this? Can you help us with that?" And what's really amazing is that it doesn't take much to get our service crews. They all have a really big heart. That's a big part of their jobs. They're taking care of people. It's a hurly-burly deal with warehouses and trucks and all that good stuff. But they got big hearts. They want to serve people, and so whenever they get a chance to do that, they will do that.
Okay, you're hosting our after hours coming up in October.
Yes,
and you're hosting the trade show, so thanks for that. I can't wait to check out that space. And then really quick, Vanline accolades. Tell me a little bit. You said something NerdWallet or?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it just came out this week. NerdWallet, of all things, rates van lines, and all the major van line groups, and the ones I mentioned earlier: Airvan, Allied, United, Mayflower, all of those that you're familiar with. And we came out #1 this year. Got a full 5-star rating from them. And if you go to NerdWallet, look up van lines ratings, it'll show you all the categories that they chose, and we came out the top dog.
Wow.
We're excited about that. That's a really cool thing. It's I never thought that I'd be so proud to have NerdWallet on my resume, but
Right.
I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah.
Congratulations to you and your team, Bill. That's quite an accomplishment and well deserved.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. Anything else while we have you?
I just want to reiterate, how much I appreciate this opportunity. It has been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you've had to see a lot of me because I helped out with Operation Thank You, which has been just a kick. In fact, I dropped by there yesterday and picked up 2 more boxes. So, got some more people here in the neighborhood that need their packets. So, but yeah, I just really enjoy the business after hours. I enjoy all the connecting with all the businesses and the people at the wide variety of things. And it's just really a great service. I've been involved with the chamber in a number of different ways throughout the different pieces of my career since leaving Albertsons. Albertsons was a great place to work. I loved it. One thing that I missed was I was out on the road a lot, and I wasn't mixing with local business. And the last 20 or so years have been really fantastic to get to know Boise at the business level, and the Chamber of Commerce has been at the center of that for me, and so much so that we opted this year to move to a board of advisors membership role, and that's really been fantastic. It's great to see the folks that are in those things. So can't say enough about how the Boise Metro Chamber of Commerce really helps us out and gives us the ability to help others out.
Terrific, Bill. Thanks for that shout out. We appreciate your investment in the community and, of course, with the chamber. Hey, everybody, stay tuned for next week. I get to feature West End Food Company. I can't wait to share what they have going on with that. And then remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And have a great weekend, everybody. Bye, Bill.
See you, Paul.